Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Brad Walter, and today we're going to be taking a little bit closer look at our aircraft that we've selected and diving into which one may be better than the others for the job that we have at hand for our on-demand travel for the company. Just to recap, these are the aircraft that we picked out for the last presentation that we're considering for our on-demand job. We've got the Pilatus, the TBM 930, the Piaggio 180, and the Phenom 100 EV, and the Citation M2. And again, just to recap, this is basically the main highlights that we're going to be needing the aircraft for. It's going to be primarily for transporting people to different sites. Our longest trip is 556 miles and shortest trip is 73 miles and several other ranges in between there. All right, this table is a summary of all the costs associated with using on-demand travel and how much it's going to cost per aircraft. Um, Cost was the number one factor for everyone that I interviewed for what was most important to them on what they wanted to use the aircraft for and the reasons for using it. Their number one for everybody was cost. So that's why I listed this one first. And as you can see there, you can see there what data points came out higher. As far as the value factor, that's based more so on cabin volume. So that's why the Piaggio P180 came out really far above the rest of them, because it has much larger cabin volume than the rest of the aircraft it's compared to. In this table, you can see where the rest of the weight values fell out for the age and the performance of the aircraft. The value factor for the age is the same for all because we used a new aircraft for all of them, so that's going to stay the same. You can see again there the cabin volume came out really high for the Piaggio P180 since it does have the largest cabin of all of them. And then as far as payload, max fuel and range with max payload, they all did pretty well, and they're all going to meet the needs of the company. It's just how much excess you have in each of those areas that will determine how high you want to go with price and things of this nature. And this is where all 5 aircraft fell out for the overall score. As you can see again, the Piaggio P180 came out on top, just mainly due to that cabin value or cabin volume pushing up the value factor that put it over the rest of them. But again, it is the most expensive aircraft, and cost was a major priority for all the people that I interviewed. It was their number one priority. All right, wrapping up here. This company is just now looking into on-demand travel. So as you can imagine, they're trying to keep their budget tight at the moment based on everyone that I interviewed. Cost was the number one factor. Ironically enough, the most expensive aircraft came out on top due to that high cabin value and high value factor. It put it on the top of the list, but I'll be interested to see where the company goes. I would assume they wouldn't just jump on the most expensive aircraft just because it came out with the highest score. They'll take a lot of the data into consideration, and I'm sure make the best choice for their company. Hope you enjoyed the presentation.